Hey guys, it's me and I'm back with another story time, and this story time is actually a story that I'm not proud of, but it happened and I just have to tell it. So this is the time I almost got expelled from high school. So I went to a boarding school and I went to a boarding school and no, I went to a Christian boarding school, so that separates everything else. And basically, normal boarding school rules, you're not allowed to cuss at authority, and yeah, so this story had to do with my bad temper, and yeah, had to do with my bad temper. So it was the end of second term, 11th grade, and it was sports day. So after sports day, we were going to go home with the school bus like I always did. And this particular time, well, in the morning, what we usually do is take our bags to the bus and put our pillows in the bus to save a seat. So we took our bags, but then the bus conductor was like, no, we're only gonna load stuff at 1 o'clock. So we said, okay, cool, whatever. So we did all that. We just left our stuff, went to sports day, had sports day, and then went back. And it was me and my friend Stubbs. So after sports day, Stubbs and I were rushing because it's one of those things where a lot of people go on the bus during like the end of the school year, and seats are hard to find, and we really wanted good seats, so we wanted to get in first and get those seats. So we went to the bus again, and the conductor tells us, no, you guys have to have lunch first and then you can get into the bus. And it made no sense. So okay, so we had our lunch, and then we had done everything they'd said, right? And this guy was still like, no, you can't get in the bus because my pastoral head, I'll call him CB because I really don't want to disclose names, because CB said you can't get on the bus, and it made no sense. So at this point, it's like it was getting hot. It was like 1 o'clock. It's really hot at 1 o'clock, and we were frustrated. We just wanted to leave and get home. It's like the school is over, school is closed, we want to leave. And like a lot of people had left to go home at that time, so we wanted to leave. So my friend Stubbs' mom calls her, and she's like not understanding why we're not on the road yet. And I tried talking to the guy like, oh no, you know, I really need to get home. Start telling stories about just some random, whatever came up to my head, I was telling him stories. And so this man starts getting agitated and rude, and Stubbs' mom wanted to talk to him, and he goes, no, that's rubbish, I don't need to talk to her, why must I talk to her, blah 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 blah, I'm the one who makes the rules, why must I talk to her, I don't need to talk to her. So I found that very rude, and I got so frustrated. So I start raising my voice at this man, and I forget who I am and where I am. I start raising my voice at this man, and then he starts raising his voice at me, and then I get so frustrated and I cuss him out. Bear in mind, it's one of those things where you're so angry you don't know what you're doing or remember what you're doing, because the next thing I knew was my friends pushing me back. Like two of my friends were it's like where we were standing was, we're standing in front of the senior boys hostel, and like there's like a sitting area, so his back was facing them. So all I know is that they came like behind him, like two of them from one side, each from each side of him, came towards me, pushing me back. Like, Mila, calm down, relax. And then, you know that thing where someone is stressed, you're supposed to like agitate or whatever, you're supposed to hug them until they calm down. That's what they did to me. And then it's like I got so upset. Next thing I knew is I felt water in my face. I was actually crying. That's how angry I got. So then, like, after I calmed down, I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, I am at school. I did this in front of a lot of people. Teachers are still here. I'm probably gonna get in so much trouble. I was like, shit. So then obviously he snitched on me, and weird part was he dragged Stubbs into it as well, because Stubbs really didn't do anything. Like, yeah, she was there with me, but she didn't say anything, she didn't do anything. Stubbs was just pissed off that this man was disrespecting her mom. So he snitched on both of us, and that's how the headmaster, deputy head, pastoral head, they were all there, and they like made a circle around us and were like interrogating us, like, oh no, what happened, blah blah blah, you're Christians, this is a Christian school, we're not supposed to, this is not what we teach you guys, blah blah blah. Like, they were very disappointed in us. And then they were like, aren't you even supposed to be a monitor next term, what is this nonsense, blah 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 blah. They cussed us out, they made us apologize to him. I apologized for cussing him out, but really I was not apologetic for telling him off, because he was really rude about talking to Stubbs' mom, and I really didn't appreciate that, because she's a nice woman and she didn't deserve that. She was just a worried parent, because it didn't make sense. The bus was literally behind schedule, and a lot of parents were really upset by the time we arrived in Lusaka. So that happened, and they were like, we'll get, anyway, since it's the last day of school, whatever, we'll let you guys know when the next term opens. So I went home. I obviously didn't tell my parents. I wasn't gonna tell them. Obviously didn't tell my parents. The whole bus ride, people kept on asking me what happened to me, like, how did I snap? People were congratulating me. Like, it was just like so many different reactions that I just couldn't take it. I was literally just quiet the whole bus ride. Like, I was just like, yo, what just happened? I couldn't believe it. And so the holiday passed, and when it was time to go back to school, I even texted Stubbs. I'm like, yo, are you ready for this? Like, are we even gonna go back? But we went back to school. We didn't get expelled, thank God. We thought we were gonna get suspended, because my high school, they were the type, they'll let you get to school just to tell you to go back home because you're suspended. That's the type of school they are. They're crazy like that. So we were expecting that. Like, we didn't even unpack our bags. Like, we're so reluctant to unpack our stuff, because we're like, we might go home. But then they embarrassed us, the usual, where your names are announced at the whole school assembly, the first assembly, and that's how we went to CB's office. CB talked to both of us, and then he was like, okay, I am giving you guys 2 hours detention with me, has to be done, and you guys have to wear a uniform for 2 weeks. All the time. All your privileges you still have, but that's just the rules and regulations. It was just like, oh, okay, cool. So in a way they let us off easy, but they didn't. But yeah, so that's the time I almost got expelled. Not a lot of people know that this ever happened. If you were there, you know. Otherwise, not a lot of people knew. Like, even people, when we went back the next term, they're asking us, yo, are you like gated or whatever? And like, only a few people who were there were like, yo, these guys snapped and whatever. Well, mainly Mwii snapped, and they dragged Lumba down with her because she was there. But otherwise, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I hope you don't see me different. I'm not that type of girl anymore. I don't disrespect authority. That's not like something I do, but it just happened in the spur of the moment. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.